Good day, BroadCoven. I am live today. All right, I'm going to be turning on the comments so I can see if anybody shows up and wants to jump into the conversation. I am going live today because Jer, who is an OG subscriber and supporter here at BroadCoven, said she was really missing the lives. And I was doing a lot of lives for the Own Your Fire journey of transformation we were all going through together as a community. We're going to have another one coming up. All right. That one's going to be coming up in the fall. It's for Vata. So I'll be going live very frequently again pretty soon here. I also had quite a few astrology lives, and, you know, doing the lives, you go deep down the rabbit hole. You know, it's kind of intense. And some of those lives I was going over 4 hours. So it takes time to kind of restore yourself. So sometimes I take a break from the lives, but I understand the value of them, and they're really wonderful for building community. And so that's what we're all about here. I got my coffee. I know I got a little bit of a later start today. It is Mercury retrograde. We got a lot of action in retrograde right now, actually. And there's a lot of interesting astrology going on. So I thought I would just kind of like drop in around today's transits so you can kind of get a feel for the energy that's in play. And these transits are going to be with us as we're writing out this cycle, and it's significant, makes a difference. I haven't even seasoned this deck yet that I want to start out with, but I did notice when I picked it up, it has the Empress on the bottom. So this is really a time of karmic balancing. This is also a time of finding balance in our Venus energy, all right? So pay attention to where you have Venus in your chart. What sign is it in? What house is it in? It's significant. It plays a role. You really want to look at this right now because in some way you're being challenged in your Venus right now. And so when we think of Venus being challenged, we think of the ideals of love and beauty, as well as justice and truth, because we do have this other piece that comes in when we look at Venus, which is associated with Libra. And currently Libra is in the South Node, balancing out the karma, closing old cycles, and preparing us to hot timelines. And in a very condensed period of time, like the nodes, when they shift, they're usually in the new signs for a year and a half. And that's the same story with this shift we had back in July when Taurus handed over the North Node position to Aries, and Scorpio handed over the South Node position to Libra. All right, so now we got a new energy in play, but there's still this oppositional dance, right? Because we have that Aries Libra energy going on. It's the Mars Venus energy going on, and so that oppositional energy is in play. How do we find the balance? How do we find the balance between the part of us that is ready to open, to unfold, to allow love in, to express from our hearts, between the side of us that feels defensive, self-protective, guarding? You know, it's that balance between love and war. And ultimately, Venus is love and war. It's the dichotomy. It's finding the center point, the balancing point. And so this energy is still very, very much in play. It will continue to be in play, but we're really getting an opportunity to speed things up. There's going to be a huge culmination point with this whole cycle we're going through with the nodes, because when this particular cycle closes up with the current nodes we got going on with Aries and Libra in this dance, it will also culminate the closing 444 on the clock. It will also culminate the closing of the Kali Yuga. So this is really significant. It's a time of transparency. It's a time of truth telling. It's a time of towers, right? So there's a lot of dynamic action in play. And there's a lot of deep healing work going on, which is what we're doing right now. We're going over old ground. We're doing real deep healing right now, like soul level, roots level healing right now. We're going all the way down to the bottom of it. Okay, so it's intense. It's intense. It's a lot. All right. And This is what we're looking to step into, okay? This Empress energy, where we can masterfully hold both in balance. And from this point, all the abundance flows in our lives, right? So I wanted to kind of drop in while I season this deck and talk to you all about the current transits in play, because the transits are really having an effect on how we're moving through this energy, especially in tandem with the two major culmination points we got of these super moons that are coming in to close out this kind of condensed timeline hop is what it really is. You know, it's like we don't need to take a year and a half to do it. All right, we can get on the fast track, or you can choose. It's kind of a choice. You get this choice, man. It's the choice of the lovers. Okay, you can choose to be ready to leap into the process, be all in, commit to a process. Okay, a process of healing. Dropping your expectations. With Pluto in the mix, you have to look at with way Pluto is aspected and the fact that it's going to be going back into Aquarius, which is all about rebellion. It's about revolutionary kind of energy. It means we can't do things the way that we've always done them. We have to do things differently. That is what is required. This is so necessary at this time, because we're trying to step into a golden age, right? After the dark ages comes the golden ages. You know, we're stepping into the age of Aquarius. And so that means innovation, okay? It's time to do things differently. And hello to everybody who's showing up. Good to see you. Hey, Angela. I'm excited to drop in with everybody on live time. You know, I needed to kind of like get my bearings a little bit after all the stuff I've been doing, you know, with the, you know, journey of transformation, the road opener, community road opener we were doing. And I am preparing to do another one in the fall. We're going to have another course opening up. So I kind of took a little bit of a break from it just to kind of get my bearings. Also, I'm working on some stuff for the channel. So when I don't do lives, that's why I'm busy. You know, I'm really caught up with trying to improve things for your experience here. So I wanted to drop in on these transits that are in play right now, because they're really significant with the energy that I'm sure that you all are feeling at this time. Let's start with the sun and what's going on with the sun today. Okay, so today we got the sun trine the moon opposite Saturn conjunct Lilith. Okay, so there's this balancing that we're doing out here that requires us to have a certain level of discipline, where we got Lilith raging for order and wants nothing short of absolute all-out rebellion. Okay, so this is a lot to balance out, and this becomes even more significant when we look at what is going on with Lilith. All right, please pay attention to where Lilith is in your chart. All right, if you don't have a chart yet, you got to go and just get yourself a natal chart. You can get it done for free online. And then usually AstroDienst, I really like that particular website, because they have so many free resources there, and it's really wonderful for people who are learning about astrology. You can draw up all kinds of charts, and it's so helpful to look at your progress chart too, and just see what's going on right now, where are things currently at for you. So I'll pin the link in the comments after I get done with this live today, so you all can look that up, because you should really know what's going on in your chart right now. Start thinking of your chart as like, it's like a map right now. It's a roadmap to help you navigate this territory, because the way these energies are going to play out for everybody is very different. It's highly individual, okay? It all depends on where the action's going down in your chart. But we're all feeling it. We're all rocking and rolling. We're all adjusting. We're all trying to get our sea legs on shifting sands. We're in unfamiliar territory, and it ain't gonna change, okay? So it's just the way that it is. We got to get used to this. It's a totally new flow. And when we're entering any kind of new flow, at first it's disruptive. At first it's destabilizing, all right? So chop wood, carry water. It's important that work with that Saturn energy, okay? That's a big key with the sun opposite Saturn, you know. You got to work with that Saturn energy. We also got, you know, Saturn's one of the planets that's retrograde right now. So it's about, you need to look at ways that you've sabotaged yourself in the past by not having discipline, you know, by not doing the work, because that's what Saturn's all about, right? Saturn's all about pulling yourself up by the bootstraps and doing what needs to be done. So this is really a time to, you know, put certain things in check. And it's interesting because it's clashing with the Lilith energy. Now, this is really significant, all right, because I want to talk about what's going on with Lilith. Yeah, look at that. Lilith, you know, we got this energy here. We got the King of Pentacles to the Ace of Cups, all right, on the split of the deck. This might really be coming up in matters of love offers that are being made to you. It's like you may be very focused. Yeah, look at this. The Sun with the Ace of Cups on the other split. You're like, you know what? I feel fulfilled in myself. I'm very much in my independent energy. I know my worth. We already know that. We had the Empress, you know, showing up on the bottom of the deck to open this up. I'm not accepting anything less than what I know can really meet me with where I'm at. And what I'm invested in is growth. Okay. So a lot of you are going through a period where you're kind of weighing up your options and what is stepping towards you against that, you know, against the work that you've done. You're also like digging up the ghosts of the past, you know, and you're looking at ways that you sabotaged yourself before, or the ways that you know, fell under someone's spell. Hello, Vicky. Wonderful to see you. So good to see the regulars dropping in. I really appreciate all of your support. Thank you for being here. Thank you for always bringing your voices in. Really value all of you. So this is really about kind of looking at those things. And it's not so easy, right? It's not so easy when we got to like look at all this old stuff, maybe reflect back at times that we're not so proud of, or, you know, maybe times that make us feel insecure, or times we might have some shame around. And this is really front and center with all of this work right now. And it's important to understand the story of Lilith to really understand how this energy is playing out, and also understand what is going on with Lilith right now. Because like I was saying, Lilith is conjunct the sun. This is the trine action we got going on right now. Sun, trine, moon, opposite Saturn, conjunct Lilith, okay? So we know this is where the work is to be done. We got to, you know, do this dive into the underworld. Here we go again. We can't avoid it. You know, we just can't avoid it. It's just the energy that's in play. We also have Lilith conjunct the sun, trine the moon, square Uranus, king 6, Neptune, and Pluto, trine Chiron. And you need to remember that Chiron has been in Aries. Aries is in the North Node. So nobody gets to advance, nobody gets to pass go until we do this work. There's no way to avoid it. We have to complete this work. We have to balance out these karmic cycles. We have to lay the ghost to rest. We got to give up the ghost, you know? We have to have a letting go and understand that at this point, we're shadow boxing, you know? If you're not getting to that point of release, letting go, if you're still hung up on like revenge, or I want to see this person pay, or you know, being in a place where you're still like just letting these resentments stew, you know, you're really going to get caught up at that South Node. And instead of being able to advance rapidly, which you very much have the chance to do right now, it's like we got this little slim window of opportunity, and it ends on the 29th of September when we have that final supermoon in Aries, okay? That's it. We got this little window, okay, to gain those 4 jewels of the Tuatha De Danann and jump ahead, you know? We get to jump ahead. It's like roll the dice. How many steps do we get to move ahead? Let me see. Let's go ahead. Let's roll the dice. Let's see. Look at that. Woo! I love it. I love it. Look at what came in. Double fours. 4, 4, that's 8. And then my blue die, which is the wild die, came up with this. Snake eyes. You know what I'm saying? It's like snake eyes. This has gone cold here. You know what I'm saying? It's time to like release the energy of the past that's held you back. It's time to divert all those evil eyes, you know, and it's time for those of you who are like still checking out what's going on the other side of someone else's fence and what they got and what their blessings are and all this greed, envy, you know, 7 deadly sins kind of energy. It's time to take a look in the mirror, do some cleansing, do some spiritual purification, okay? Because you don't want to miss this opportunity. Because what's going to happen is if you don't let this stuff go, if you don't release all this old energy, and if you don't drop your expectations, your framework around how this has to look, what it needs to be like, you know, your version of what is best. You know, you have to understand anything you're entering into right now, it's a cooperative effort. It's a collective effort. We don't get to advance until we all advance. And this is like a concept that really is falling short in the collective consciousness right now. It can't be me, me, me. It just can't. If you're in this me, 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 you know, mindset, you're going to be left behind. You're going to sit in the South Node, and you can sit there until this age of Kali Yuga is up in the middle of 2025. Just on karmic spin cycle. Now, I don't know about you, but I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that action. I'm passing go. I'm advancing, okay? I'm advancing those 9 steps forward. I don't care if I have to go alone in hermit mode, you know, walk my own way. I am moving forward, you know. I am growing. That is my choice. I'm not staying stagnant. And I don't think the people gathered here are going to do that. I think you're all ready to move and advance forward too, okay? So congratulations for being ready to look at things as they are and being ready and willing to do the work, because that's what it's about, man, okay? And really, truly, you know, even though we advance, it's still, you know, we're still connected to that collective energy. So let's hold space, right, for people that are struggling, for people that maybe have lost their way, maybe people who don't know their way, maybe people that are in a heavy karmic balancing time, because as much as we're going to see bless ups during this time, we're also going to be seeing people really going through some rough stuff. So let's hold compassion around it. Let's nurture compassion, because we all need compassion right now, all right? People are moving through really sensitive territory. Yeah, look at this, you know. 2 of Cups in reverse, you know, if you want to really align with the love that you're hoping to find in your reflection of another, this is really about polishing the mirror at this time, okay? And that's what Lilith did. You know, you've got to understand the story of Lilith. So let's look into the mythos of Lilith, all right? Lilith, you know, has been demonized largely. Lilith has been demonized as kind of being the seductress, the fallen one. You know, she has been cast in the role of devil oftenly. Mercury retrograde in full effect, and oftenly. What the heck is that? A made up word. Okay, hey, anything goes, all right? We're moving into the age of Aquarius. She's often been cast into this role of like a she-devil, you know? And there's many reasons for that. Lilith was very hungry for a thirst for knowledge. And in fact, when we look at the story of Eve, Lilith and Eve, they're the same character. They are. You know, you may not know that, okay? But it's true. Lilith got cast in the role of the serpent as the deceiver, you know, that whispered in Eve's ear to partake of the fruit of knowledge, okay? And the reason being is that originally the story goes that the tree of knowledge is actually a pomegranate tree. And Lilith liked to sit on the banks of the river, you know, near this pomegranate tree, this tree of knowledge, and she would gorge herself on the pomegranate fruits because she was so hungry. She had such a thirst for this knowledge. Yeah, look at this. This is the journey we're on here right now. It's like the thirst for knowledge, the thirst for self-knowledge, self-awareness, okay? Because that's what the tree of life really is. The tree of life, the tree of knowledge, it is your chakra system. And Lilith at its base core, if we're to look at it as an energy, it's the Kundalini life force, all right? It is the serpent that rises up the tree. But in order for that to happen, you have to have self-knowledge. You have to have self-awareness. You also have to shed the layers of illusion. So there was Lilith, you know, just enjoying herself, gorging herself on, you know, these pomegranates. And she gained knowledge. She gained knowledge of herself. And what she realized, hello, wonderful to see you. Thank you for joining the conversation. She realized, wait a minute, there's no separation between me and the divine. It's all in me. It's all one energy. It's all me. And it's all you. I mean, she wanted Eve to know this too, okay? It's not like she was trying to hoard the information to herself. She was like, oh my gosh, no, like, check out this fruit, man. You need to take a bite of this because you need to understand you're a creator. Okay, look at this. Got the King of Swords to the Nine of Swords. Oh, the challenge, the fear. Dare I have knowledge? Dare I have knowledge of the truth? And it is kind of the same thing that's going on right now. You know, these towers, people don't want to see the tower. No, I'm gonna gaze away from the tower. I don't want to look at the tower, but we have to look at it. You know, we have to look at the deception. It's so interesting to me that Lilith, you know, who became the story of Satan, the snake, the deceiver that lured Eve to bite into that apple. It's got changed to an apple, which I think is very interesting, I have to tell you, because if you slice an apple in half, like from the stem side, you know, from the top down, if you look at it, it forms a pentagram. Okay, so, and the pentagram, it's not an evil symbol. Okay, the pentagram is a symbol of balance of elemental qualities. Okay, each point represents an elemental. It's earth, air, fire, water, ether. Okay, it's also Vitruvian Man that Leonardo da Vinci painted, right? Where we see that image of the man with his arms spread out, his legs spread out, the body forming a star. I mean, these are all keys. We are birthed from the stars. Do you see the interconnectedness of all these things? And even when we're looking at biblical texts, and this is something that's always bothered me, you know, when it comes to different like pagan traditions, other traditions, even if you're just into a philosophical approach to life, you're an atheist, you know, there's wisdom within the Bible. There's wisdom within the Bible, and it's all parable, okay? It's all metaphorical. And there's keys there. There's a lot of seeds of knowledge, and it's tucked away in some of those stories. And yes, I love this. Exactly. The star. And that's also the journey we're going through right now, right? We're going through the star where we know we're getting to that point of stepping into our sun. We know that. Why? Because we've been having all that action go on with Sirius too, right? So we have our spiritual sun has been guiding us forward, which is that hermit's journey, right? Where we're kind of like shedding the light from within by looking at the subconscious stuff, making the subconscious conscious by pulling it up from the shadow and into the light. So anyway, you know, she got vilified because she spoke against basically what the power structures didn't want to get out. They didn't want that secret to get out that, hey, guess what? You actually have the power. And these power structures don't actually have the power. You have the power. We all have the power. It's not a power that belongs to any one person or entity. It's a shared power. It's a collective power. And that's the truth, which is unity. But you don't know that. until you partake of the fruit of the tree of knowledge, which is really getting in touch with the power that runs through you, which is your chakra system, each a portal, each a gateway of manifestation. And when we look at the Kundalini life force energy, and a lot of people are going to be having activation of Kundalini if they're ready for it. If you're ready, if you're open for it, you know, and if you've been doing the work, and if you've been working with your chakra system, you may start to have these kinds of experiences just with Lilith so front and center, because snake medicine also, we have to look at this, is about imbibing a bit of the poison to arrive at the cure. It's transmutation medicine. It's shedding skin. It's the Ouroboros. It's devouring, digesting the old self to be born in the eternal cycle of rebirth. Okay, we know that after death, there always comes rebirth. So, you know, awful Lilith, she was very much in touch with her sensuality. She, you know, she knew what she wanted in the bedroom. She had no problem with that. She enjoyed being on top. She knew what she liked for her satisfaction. Do you understand the programming, the way that the divine feminine got vilified? Even the way they tried to cast her into the dark. Okay, Lilith was exiled. Lilith had to go off on her own, all right? 46 and 2 just ahead of me. Yeah. You know, and so like Lilith is speaking of that same journey of Ishtar. Okay, these are archetypes. It needs to be understood archetypally, okay, because all of these figures, all of these goddesses, these gods, these energies, they're all the same energy, all right? They're all the same energy. They play out cross-culturally all over the world. So we're all tapping into the same energy. We just have a different way of relating to it. And that's okay. It's like the Matrix, man. Okay, there's like this grid that's over reality. Do you need to step out, Teddy? You do? Okay. Wait a minute here. Mr. Ted has needs this morning. He's had a lot of needs, hence the delay we had getting here, okay? And that's okay. It's okay. We all have needs at this moment. We all may be delayed a little bit, you know. That's okay. You know, take it easy with yourself as you're moving through this energy, because, you know, one thing that comes in with Lilith is also boundaries. All right, we have to look at this because Lilith is the same energy as Ishtar. Okay. Same thing with, you know, the owl medicine. Right, owl is very strongly associated with Lilith. So magic, okay. So you hear a lot about spiritual warfare right now. Is that out there? Yeah, it is. There's people throwing stuff around. And owl medicine, isn't it interesting? Owl medicine is also known in Native American Indian tribes, in many of them, as the deceiver. Okay, so isn't this interesting? So it's like kind of like reclaiming this wild magic, reclaiming our wild power to be creators. And if you look at the High Priestess card in traditional tarot in the Rider-Waite deck, there's pomegranates in the backdrop. All right, and so Lilith is the same energy as Ishtar, is the same energy as Persephone. Okay. And cross-culturally, you can find it in every tradition. There is this story about the feminine that does the deep dive into the shadow, that does the dance of the seven veils, that sheds each illusion, okay? And this applies to the masculine too, okay? Men, you're not left out of this. You still have the feminine aspect within you, which is your receptivity, your intuition, your ability to receive, your ability to slip into vulnerability and have somebody pour into you as well. But you can only have somebody pour into you if you are open, right? So this is like what we're all learning how to do. How do I like stay in this place of vulnerability and openness without going into a place where I suddenly feel like I have to protect myself, I have to fight, I have to fend off any coming intrusion because it might harm me, it might hurt me. And it's almost like understanding that, again, you got to imbibe a bit of the poison to arrive at the cure, okay? It's that medicine. He who dares not grasp the thorns should never crave the rose, right? It's just the way it is, man. And pain is part of life, but pleasure is too. And so it's really about understanding this as well as you're bumping up against pain. I feel like also people are encountering a lot of, oh, it happened again. One moment. This is so interesting. Yeah, it happened again, huh, Ted? Shook his head, yes. As I shut that door, the other door opened. Okay, so this happened on one of my videos, I think just the other night. Okay, so what, Teddy? There's no more cookies. You had all your cookies. Go ahead, lay down on your bed. He's looking at me like, hell no, I didn't have all my cookies. Where's my cookies? I want more cookies. I think that's where the collective's at right now, right? Everybody is waiting for, everybody's waiting for that, piece of, they're waiting for that piece of, sweet reward, to come in and sort of like fill the cup. We are internal. All this pain is an illusion. I don't know if I totally agree with that. I mean, the reality is we're in a physical experience. We're in a physical body. We feel pain. And it's not that there's anything wrong with feeling pain. It's okay to feel pain. Sometimes things hurt. It's not about whitewashing trauma. It's not about bypassing the pain. Pain is part of the process. It is. But there can be a beauty in pain. There can be a beauty in letting out the pain, in greeting it with a place of total love and acceptance, to hold the pain, to provide comfort, to let it be like a balm to the pain. There's so much wisdom that comes through pain too. We know, like pearls, they come through pain, they come through irritation in the oyster, right? It's the same thing, okay? So it's like people need to understand that pain is part of this dualistic existence. If you're in a physical body, you're going to experience pain. The day you stop finding yourself in a place of pain is when you're no longer in this corporeal shell. When you shed this casing and you move on and you just become nothing but, atoms swirling about with no need to take on a physical form anymore, then you will truly have transcended, It's the only way to come into understanding pain changes things. It does. Yeah, absolutely. Pain is a transformer. I really agree with that. Absolutely. Pain is a transformer. And so it's like an initiatory gateway. And that's a new way to kind of like look at pain, right? Where we can kind of, let's pull this pain in instead of pushing it away. What's really interesting is there's another course that I'm going to be opening up in my series on my Cobra's Medicine Bag site. I'm going to open up the Vata course for free. It's going to be all free resources to everybody, okay? No catch, just like last time, all right? I was going to hold off on opening up the Grace in Crisis course until I got to like the holiday season. But I think actually for the fall, I'm going to open up both simultaneously because I think people really, really need it right now. I've just been seeing it come up for so many people. There's a lot of people having a hard time. So I just want to bring that support in for everybody. Hello, Rhonda. Good to see you. I'm glad to have you here. I just had sentience come in. So thank you, whoever just sent me that love. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. So yes, I'll be bringing that in for you all, but there's a lot of pain, heavy duty pain to process here, but it can be an empowering experience. It can be a liberating experience, just like it is for Lilith, right? When Lilith does that dive, Whether you see it as Lilith or you see it as Persephone or you see it as Ishtar, it don't matter. At the end of the day, when those 7 layers of veils of illusions are shed, all right, and you're there naked before Ish Kriegel, all right, in your absolute vulnerability, when you're down to the bare bones basics of what is truth at the end of the day, it all comes back to love. And it's that love that sets us free, because that's what love is, right? Love is absolute freedom. Love is a completely soft, open hand. Love is allowing, okay? Love is not about controlling. It's not about grasping. It's not about envying what another has. It's just complete openness, absolute trust, total acceptance, yes energy. That's love at the end of the day. All right. And so we're all working to get to that place. Yes, it's so true. Forged by fire, man. It's true. You're doing soul smithing right now, you know, soul smithing. It's getting hot in here. It's getting hot in here, but you know, we're meant to move beyond the pain. Do you see this? Look at the 6 of Swords on the bottom of the deck here. It's like we're holding a lot of space for the young one inside of us, right? As we're moving toward that super moon in Pisces is coming up shortly here on the 31st to close out the month, right? And there's something really important coming through this process. It's very cathartic. At this time, we're finally going to understand our pain more, and we're going to kind of get a clearer view of, like, I understand the action I need to take to alleviate this pain I'm feeling. All right. And so there's going to be something that really comes through with that, and it involves speaking the truth, living the truth, rising up in your truth, just like Ishtar rises as Inanna, queen of the heavens, which is that big empress energy. All right. So also in this mix, we have to remember, with all the planetary activity going in retrograde, backsliding, past is very front and center. You'll probably be dealing with important figures from your past. Some of these people you may want to go through a healing process with, and I feel like that is very front and center, and it is on offer for those who are ready to do that work. But anybody who's ready to do that work needs to understand it's a deep dive. You know, it's a deep dive. So it's really about asking yourself, am I ready to do a deep dive? Like, am I ready to jump out of the frying pan and into the fire? So it can just consume me already, and I can be like the phoenix and be born anew and like rise up out of those ashes. I mean, I know me, I'm like a kamikaze, like bring it on. I will crash and burn, and I'm going to throw myself into that fire, because that's just how I roll. You know, that's just me. But there's nothing wrong if somebody feels like they're not ready for that. Okay. You have to do what is indicative of your path, what's calling you forward to grow. So if you're ready to grow, you got to keep growing, okay? You can't let other people hold you back. And don't lose sight either of all these lessons, all these things you've learned, everything that you are cultivating for yourself, man. Because something shows up on the scene and maybe, you know, it's distracting you a little bit, it's drawing your attention. Remember to keep things in balance, okay, as you move through this cycle, because it can be very activating. I say that because we got Mercury retrograde trine Jupiter, okay, but we have to remember Jupiter is square Venus. That's tricky energy. Squares are challenging. Venus square Jupiter is like moving more into the war energy aspect of Venus. It's like, I want what I want, and I will get what I want at all costs. It's greed energy, okay? It's, I get what I want no matter what it costs. It's kind of not considering what is really needed to remedy the situation, okay? So this is something that needs to be looked at. And we need to look at those places inside with the Lilith action trine Chiron, okay, that highlights something for us. It's like, okay, so the child wants what it wants, right?
there's something very like deep and fundamental going on here. And we have to look at Aries and Chiron. It's all about like the wound of the self. Okay, so this is a deep wound. Everybody collectively, let's please be gentle with each other. Let's please give each other a lot of breathing room. When we see somebody act up, let's not be so quick to attack them. Okay, let's just kind of like, okay, you know, be good with your boundaries. All right, you don't need to take it on. You don't need to interact with it, but you also don't need to, you know, actively, you know, oppose it either. Okay, you can invite in a sense of compassion, and instead, when you see somebody being very inflammatory, when you see somebody in this space of being aggressive, you can look at it instead as like, oh, I get it. This person is really bumping up against like their wounded child. Okay. If you can start thinking of it that way, it'll help you also tap into that own, you know, part of yourself where you're also doing that work. And that can help you tap into a certain essence of compassion that will just allow you to give space for people to be who they are and where they are on their path. And wherever they are is perfect for where they are, whether you agree with it or not, whether it looks the way you think it should or not. And any instance where you're getting into that, where you're finding yourself distracted about like, well, what's going on with this person, you know, or is this person getting their karma? I have to say, like, I see so many reads on YouTube are focused in this way. Like, what's going to be their karma? It's like you should not even be focused on another's work, because that's what karma means. Work. Why are you focusing on somebody else's work when your work is right in front of you? You know what I'm saying? Why are you going to do that? And we know we need to focus on this right now. That's what's going on. Sun trine Moon, opposite Saturn, conjunct Lilith, trying the Moon, and square Uranus, and conjunct Neptune and Pluto, and trine Chiron, and we're like walking through a hall of mirrors, you know, and we're seeing reflections of all of our former selves. And it's like shadow boxing out there. It's very illusory. Yes, people can be petty. It's true. And you know what? There is like a certain place that needs to be held around that too, right? It's just the acknowledgement, like, ooh, I can see where I've been petty back there, you know? You know, a great way to tap into that is your Facebook memories. Your Facebook memories roll around. Have you ever had these experiences? I know that like sometimes when my Facebook memories come around, I look at like something I posted a few years ago. I'm like, oh, no, Shannon. What were you thinking, Broad? Where were you at back there, man? So it's interesting, okay? We got to have a little like compassion for ourselves, but you can see it, you know, you can see it. And I think we're like looking at all these reflections, and we're also wanting to be seen as we really are. And so in order to be seen as we really are, it requires us to have a little bit of vulnerability too. You know what I'm saying? You relate, Angela? Yeah, it's kind of funny. I love to laugh at myself and just go, oh my God, Shannon, what's your problem? Like, why were you like that? But it's okay. And you know what? That was part of my process too. You know what I'm saying? It was part of my healing process too. There had to be the part of me that let the teenager in me like act out and be like, no, F you. You know what I'm saying? Right? Yes, exactly. You know, there's that part too. And at first, rebellion looks like that, right? With that Lilith energy, at first, it's like, it's rebellion. It's the rebel, you know? We're all working with the rebel archetype right now. We're all working with the like rogue archetype, and it's just coming in naturally. In fact, this is the thing that's actually lighting a lot of people up right now. It's what's inspiring them. It's like, oh yeah, you all go that direction. I'm going to veer left here, man. I'm like, I'm going to follow my own path, you know, and it's causing a stir because nothing is going to fall in line, you know? And then when you look at that, like, oh, wow, why am I being activated? Because this person wants to head in this direction and it's not in alignment with what I want them to do. Wow, that's a powerful point of self-reflection, right? I love this. I've been saying that a lot in prayer and in practice. It's okay. Yes, 44, 44 on the clock. Yeah, that's an excellent way to come into alignment. It's a building block for your future. You know, you got to trust. Just, it's one of these things. If you are, you know, trusting your path, right? And if you're following your yes, and you're choosing growth, and you're doing the work, how could anything that's happening in any way be an error? It just simply cannot. And even though it may look disruptive on the surface, or it may be difficult, whatever it is you're moving through, like ultimately it's what sets you free, right? It's part of your growth process. It's empowering, and something beautiful will come out of it. But, you know, we have to really understand that. It's like people get too kind of caught up in this like Disney fantasy fairy tale stuff. No, come on, man. You know, fairy tales are not about that. Fairy tales are brutal, right? 7 years of mistakes are the path that brought me to this moment. It's about the growth that makes the difference. Ashay. Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, you know, anybody that's struggling like with that sense of like shame, where you feel like, man, you know, I just wish that it would have been different. I wish I wouldn't have done that. You know, don't be hard on yourself. Don't beat up on yourself. See if you can really reflect back to, you know, that person you were back then that took those actions. And I don't know, maybe even work with this a little bit. Maybe you can even like work with a mirror. Maybe you can like do some mirror gazing where, you know, you look in your eyes, but you're like looking in the eyes of the person back then who made those mistakes, or that person who feels this guilt or feels this anger. And you can tell them that you love them and that you understand and that it's okay. And hey, look at us now, you know, look where we are now. So that's very much, you know, the growth that needs to, you know, take place at this time, to understand that even our mistakes, even our flubs, even our missteps, they've like served a purpose. Okay. It's all about elevation, and nobody's perfect. Okay. So if you're dealing with anybody like turning down their nose at you, judging you, you know, this is very much a piece of just like bringing things into balance. I love that. Yeah. Be the person you needed when you were growing up. Absolutely. Only the brave are divine. It's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. Okay. So beautiful energy, beautiful energy. Let's see how it wants to play out, shall we? So shall we just get like a tarot basis going on here? I think a lot of you are really starting to feel this already, but it's definitely going to be coming to a head with the Pisces supermoon that comes in, the blue moon. There is a once in a blue moon opportunity that's coming in to close out this month. It's this opportunity to hop the timeline. Are you ready to like jump onto the fast forward track? I am. I'm not going to stay until the middle of 2025. In karmic spin cycle. I'm not. And anybody who chooses to do that, that's their journey. I respect that. Love, peace, healing to them, and compassion and support for their process. Try to look me up when I'm, you know, when you get to the other side of that, you know. But I'll tell you what, man. Anybody who comes to you at this time that you really want to heal with, or you really want to develop a future with, or you want to enter into something with, I don't care if it's a relationship. A lot of this is relationship oriented. It's friendships. It's your soul family. It's romantic connections. Okay. But this can even be people that you're working together with on a project, something you're building for your future. Anybody who comes forward towards you now and you want to work with this person, okay, I'm not talking about people that you're like, no, I'm done with that. Okay, good, you're clear. That's good. You know, Queen of Swords, as Libra would do, all right, in the South Node, cut it off, send it on its way, release it, you know, release it in love, and move forward, you know, move forward with your life. And releasing it in love does not mean if it's like somebody who was an abuser or something that was really unjust, that you have to be like, I love you. Okay, well, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about like new agey bypassing stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about love at the end of the day is the spirit of yes. Okay, so sometimes it can just simply be that. It can just be like, yes, this happened. Yes, you hurt me, or yes, this was unjust. This was wrong. And allowing yourself to go into the belly of the beast, to feel all those feelings, to do that deep dive into that Neptunian, Pluto energy. All right, where you're really like dealing with illusory energy. It's shadow boxing. It's exactly what it is. It's Bruce Lee in the Hall of Mirrors trying to find out where the opponent is and smashing all the mirrors of illusion so he can actually see the enemy and face the enemy dead on, right? Okay? It's about not running anymore. It's about facing the fear. So anybody that you're releasing in that way, just, you got to just like smash the layers of illusion, understand how holding grudges, or trying to put a candy coating around what was a really bitter experience is not going to change the truth of the situation, nor is it really going to help you heal. It is very important that you honor your feelings in that experience and that you do your own work to transmute those feelings, because your feelings are your truth and your personal experience. Okay, this is like very, very significant. There's another piece of this though. If you got somebody that is like showing up and you do want to work with this person and you are hoping for healing with this person, or you want to build something with this person, and this person is saying, I'm in it, okay, and no expectations, and I don't know what it looks like. I just know I feel called here. I feel resonance here. I feel aligned here. I want to grow. I want to grow and I want to heal. You would be crazy to turn this down. Look at this. You would be crazy to turn this down with the Ace of Cups, just because it doesn't look like your Disney princess fairy tale ending, because real fairy tales ain't like that. Okay. And in real fairy tales, there's always karmic balance. There always is beautiful, sweet, reward, right? But there's also, a prime example of that is the true fairy tale of Cinderella, which a lot of people don't know the true story because they just have, the whole Disney version. I'm not going to go into the whole fairy tale, all right? But the way that it ends in that story is that on Cinderella's wedding day, the evil stepsisters get their eyes plucked out by a crow, okay? And crow is karmic law, Crow is that balancing energy in spirit medicine. So this energy's here, there's a sharp edge to the truths that come forward at this time, right? So that's part of the process. You have to embrace both sides. And some of the truths that are going to be illuminated, some of what's coming forward, it's going to be hard for people to take in. Look at this, so much energy coming up in reverse, Page of Pentacles in reverse. Some of this news, this education coming in, we don't want to look at it. Because it causes us to have certain heavy feelings, certain heavy energies to transmute. All right. But this is the work right now. And we need this education because the truth sets us free. So in this, you get to actually see me prepare the deck as I normally do before I read with all of you. Like when I shuffle on camera, when I normally do the pre-record reads, I've already done all this shuffling that I'm doing with you all. Yeah, look at this. The betrayal, man. 5 of Swords. This is the basis of the matter we're looking at here, right? We're going to feel betrayed. We're going to feel betrayed, And this is something that needs to be integrated at this time. Can you hold? They ain't playing around, man. The test, the spiritual test, for those of you really focused on your spiritual path, you alchemists out there. The tests at this time are fierce, all right? Can you hold compassion for the person who betrayed you? Well, that this wanted to flip up. Empress, can you hold compassion for the person who betrayed you? That's what it really means to come into that Venusian energy. Look at that shield there. Love is your shield. Love is your power. Love is your protection. Okay? It doesn't mean you have to allow it in your life, all right? It's heavy. This is the heavy lifting portion of the karmic balancing work. All right? A lot of you have been in the dark about somebody or something around you, and you've been put in a position of heavy burden by this. And so once you discover this truth, you're going to be really tempted to use all these wands against that person. Ooh, I just got some of you that are like workers, root workers, you know, work with spell work. Some of you may be tempted to cast all your wands in that way. I don't recommend that. You want to get caught in the Hall of Mirrors? Do you want to get caught up in that Neptunian illusion? Do you? That's not the right way to go, man. Don't get pulled in by the glamour. Don't get suckered. Don't get on power trips, man. It'll backfire. All right. This is about finding the balance. I love the parallels with this energy here. The Chariot. Look at Sphinx medicine. Okay. Sphinxes are about protection, but what do the Sphinxes protect? They protect secret knowledge. Okay. Do you understand? There's a lot that's coming through right now about knowledge, like spiritual knowledge, alchemical knowledge. All right. This is about being the balancing point between the shadow and light. Secrets are going to be revealed, but your Chariot only moves forward if you allow them to be a source of alchemical fuel for your ride. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not about you grasping the reins and grasping control. Oh, they did this to me. Now I'm going to go and get them for doing that to me. No. You'll be stalled out here. Okay? It's a test. Right? This is about using it as a source of transmutation. Right? I want to talk about this for a minute. It's something that comes up. Just you hear it on YouTube a lot, especially among readers and you know, any kind of spiritual communities talking about spiritual warfare. When people direct negative energy at you, and you, if you're a sentient person, okay, and everybody has the ability to be tapped into their sentience. Everybody has the ability to really be in touch with their psychic awareness, their intuition. So if you're an individual, you know, that feels like you can feel other people trying to insert their energy into your space, all right, first of all, we know it's your personal responsibility to establish your boundaries, okay? Nobody can set your boundaries but you. So if you're feeling that, then you know in some way you're letting it in. So that's when you have to look at, okay, am I being really solid in my boundaries? First of all, are you communicating your boundaries? Okay, because we have to look at things practically first. Are you taking steps practically to establish boundaries with these people or this situation? Are you setting safe parameters around that? Are you, I love this, sanctuary and love. Yes. Are you creating a sanctuary of love around yourself? Okay. Because as long as you are vibrating at that level, like nothing can touch you. I'm telling you, the only way any energy that's thrown at you can affect you is if you enter into energetical agreement with it. You have to form an agreement with it. If you stay in the energy of love, this is why I say, when you find out about these betrayals, don't get into that tit for tat. Because if you do, you're going to form an energetic agreement with it, and you're going to stay in the karmic spin cycle, all right? But you can transmute it, all right? You can transmute it. I'm going to talk about that in just a second here. I don't want to lose the track of this download, and I'm going to go back and look at these comments because I've been seeing comments come up, so I want to address what you all are bringing in there, okay? So there's this piece where, you know, it's about you maintaining your energetic boundaries. And I really encourage for everyone, it doesn't matter if you're an alchemist or not, you know, if you're not working a path like that, now is a good time regardless, you know, to be really on top of your purification, your spiritual cleansing. And it actually can even be helpful with health as well, just making sure you're eating really nutritious, you know, clean burning fuel, you know, that you're feeding your body in a way that keeps you really energized, stabilized. Make sure you're getting lots of water, just like clearing out the energy, you know, allowing your body to detox, because it's all interconnected, mind, body, spirit. So if you're processing a lot of heavy stuff, if you're moving through a lot of challenging times, you know, you can help facilitate clearing out that energy. If you're also really just like flushing it out of your system by getting enough fluids, getting enough water. Lemon water is really great for that, for just internal purification, okay? You can even make yourself like a Florida water with, you know, oranges, and, you know, you can add in your own herbs, elements, and make like an agua fresca and use that like an internal Florida water to just like cleanse out all the old energy from your cells, from your mind, from your emotions, and stimulate your lymph. You know, if you're feeling frustrated, okay, if this news comes in, if you find out about these betrayals, you feel frustrated, work it out of your body. This is, you are the one. All right. So what you manifest all depends on how you maintain this vessel, this channel. All right. So go work out, you know, go for a run, go lift some weights, go hit your yoga mat, go for a walk, put on some music, dance it out. That also like moves the energy. Okay. It moves the energy. It also holds beautiful space around anything you're feeling that's activating. That is so helpful right now, right? But whatever you do, don't engage with it, okay? Just set that firm boundary and that intention. If you do nothing alone, then take that action right now to really just be very solid about setting your boundaries. You will do yourself so much good, all right? The other piece is, let's say that because you have been, neglecting your self-care, maybe you haven't been getting the best sleep, or let's say you've been doing a lot of workings, but you haven't been properly like closing your rituals. You haven't been, bearing, earthing the energy or releasing it to flowing water when you're done. You got like, just a lot of stagnant energy in your atmosphere. Maybe you're not feeding the ancestors. Maybe you're not feeding spirit. Maybe you're not paying gratitude, giving up respect. All of these things can like clog the channel of creativity, all right? And it even applies to prayer, okay? Any kind of spiritual practice you have, you want to make sure that you're on, your clearing work, okay? Clearing out the energy. But if you notice, all right, let's say you haven't been getting a lot of sleep, you've been stressed out, you don't have, your Saturn stuff nailed down, which is important. Saturn's a big key right now. It's being able to have grounding points and a sense of stability, even amidst like total fluidity, a very changeable environment. It's so essential right now. Let's say, okay, my boundaries got fuzzy because I wasn't on my ish, I wasn't taking care of business. I got sloppy. It made my auric field permeable. I allowed myself to get activated. I entered into contract with this energy. And you do notice like, oof, you feel it, okay? Because usually you can feel it. You can feel it if somebody like taps into your space. There's a way that you can actually use the energy to transmute it so it actually fuels you. You can like gobble it up. You can gobble it up and have it like be like a battery, like it's almost like jumper cables, okay? So I'm going to tell you how you can do that. So let's say you feel an energy come in, and most of the time, there's a few different places you'll feel it, all right? If somebody is trying to like put you under psychic attack, all right? We're just going to dive into this a little bit. It's BroadCoven. It's coffee talk. This is what we do around here. There's a few different chakra centers you'll notice where it comes in at, okay? So this could be experienced as like kind of a dull, foggy, dense, heavy energy around Ajna, the third eye chakra. It's often can be felt on the crown, okay? You can sometimes feel it on the crown. If you're feeling a lot of that and you're feeling sensitive and you have been sloppy with your energetic boundaries, okay, I feel like it would just be really good. Just do a spiritual cleansing bath. You know the score, okay? The 2 cups of baking soda to 2 cups Epsom salt or sea salt, all right? Yeah, it feels like a heaviness. It's that dense. It's like weight. It's like foggy, you know? It makes your thinking clouded. Like you feel dull. You feel dull in your head, okay? It's like cotton brain. That's a big clue, okay? You can feel it at the crown. You can feel it here, okay? So that's one way. That lets you know that somebody might be doing some kind of like confusion working, or, you know, some kind of smoke and mirrors working, trying to cast some kind of glamour, cast some kind of illusion, right? Also, really just trying to disorient and disempower, cut off your ability to see clearly, right? Okay. The other place where it's commonly felt is when we go dive down into the lower chakra channels, all right? So sometimes you can feel it at your root, okay? Muladhara chakra. If you feel it at your root, you'll notice that you might be getting like a lot of cramping. You could have a lot of issues with like constipation, okay? Not being able to release. This is significant. It can, Angela, you know, it'll be expressed in different ways. I mean, obviously, if you have something energetically directed at you, it can, you know, go to one center. But if you enter into agreement with it, then it can start working through your chakra system, right? Your energy body. Absolutely. Absolutely. Your root, you got to think, your root chakra, it's about your foundation. It's about your root. So yeah, you may notice like cramping. You may notice a lot of kind of like fire in the legs. You may notice that you start having a lot of financial difficulties or problems in your home, okay? Think about those foundational things, all right? Family rifts with people that you know are like, no, these are like my people. What's going on, okay? The other place you can commonly feel it is in your sacral chakra, Svadhisthana, okay? That's because that's your creative center, all right? And that can block your ability to manifest, right? So when you feel it there, you can have like all kinds of like, especially for women, you know, you can feel a lot of kind of hormonal stuff, female reproductive issues. You also may find like a lot of distension, discomfort, you know, in the belly, in the womb space. And then the third place, which is very, very common, and especially with parasitic type attacks, parasitic kind of energy, it tends to be mostly felt within that chakra center, within Svadhisthana, the sacral chakra, and also within the third chakra, Manipura, because that's your power center. Okay. And it can feel like a leeching energy. You know, you got that going on if you feel insecure, if you feel afraid, if you feel like you're having trouble manifesting anything in your life, if you're in a place of stagnancy in your life. Okay. So now we got this action going on. So what am I talking about? How can you transmute this energy? In correlation with the moon, it comes in more intense. You may be having somebody's doing some moon magic on you. Let's see about that. You okay with that? You want me to check? I know you do. I don't even need you to answer. Somebody doing moon magic on Angela. Let's just see. Let's just see. Somebody doing moon magic on Angela. Let's see. We'll just do a cut of the deck on this. Ooh. 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 Oh my God. Holy shit. You tell me, Angela. You have intuition. Oh my gosh, I got sentience. You tell me, Angela. 10 of Pentacles to the Devil, to the 8 of Pentacles, to the Moon. Somebody is trying to rock your stability, your financial stability, your home, your support system. Yes, they've actively been doing workings. Moon magic. Moon magic. Okay, so let me tell you how you can transmute this judgment. All right. Let me tell you how you can transmute this energy. All right. And this is for anybody. Anybody can do it. I do it all the time. Okay. Because I got people that, like, you know, send stuff my way. Obviously, as a reader, you know, all readers experience this. When we're tapping into collective energy, it can get really heavy. This is why I don't always do lives. All right. Because it's a lot of space to hold. And whenever we're doing that, we're running this energy through our bodies. So naturally, you know, sometimes you can feel people trying to, like, tap in. If you're not up on your game, all right, if you're constantly, like, leaving yourself open to that, you can definitely experience it. But sometimes it was 1, 1, 1, 3, 3 on the clock when I said that. So even in that case, there's still times you can see, right, it affects readers' feeds, you know, things will become blurry, you know, messages will fall off, blocking energy will come in, because it is the World Wide Web, all right? So I only have control of my little sphere here. I don't have control of the World Wide Web. Look at this. Woo, woo. They have been throwing this around, Angela. This has something to do with passions. Do you feel like this tries to tap into you sexually? Be careful of engaging with it. Be careful of engaging with it, even though it might be tempting, you know, because the devil is always tempting. It's a very seductive energy. Whatever's tapping into you is very seductive. All right. You should ward against that. Right. So let me tell you how you transform it. Okay, how can you engage with it and use it for transformation? Let's look at it this way. This is a better way to do it, okay? So you feel the energy come in, all right? I'm going to give an example, right? I'm going to give an example, a very practical example, but it can apply to anywhere you feel it in the body. I'm going to go on the sexual track because that came in, okay? So let's say you're sitting there, you know, you're watching, you know, YouTube, you're chilling out, you know, enjoying yourself at the end of your night, you're relaxing, and all of a sudden you feel like this sexual energy come in. You feel like somebody is tapping in sexually to you. And you're like, you know, you're like, oh, okay, you know, you might, you know, want to engage with it, right? Okay. That can be dangerous, all right? It can be dangerous if you let somebody get courted into your space like this, all right? It can be dangerous if you let them court into your space like that, because for you, you think it's pleasurable, okay? And maybe it is pleasurable in the moment, but then it actually starts to drain and siphon your power and also your ability to create, you know, for yourself, okay? So what you do, so you feel this sexual energy come in. Where do you feel it? Where are you feeling it? Where are you feeling the energy in your body? Most of the time, people will first feel that right in the root, you know, right in the root. Yes. Yes, Angela. I'm not going to pop that stuff up on the screen, okay? Just for the sanctity of what we're bringing in here. And just also so, you know, nobody like taps into that, what you're bringing in there, okay? But yes, you know, let's say you feel it at your root, all right, which is probably where you would initially feel it, okay? All right, your chest and your head, all right? Let's start with the chest because it's the lower, all right? It's the lower chakra channel. So what you want to do, if you feel like somebody then in your root, okay, you go with the lowest one. Go with the lowest one first. So obviously this is somebody that's already been tapped into you for a while because you feel it in your chest and your head. Okay, yes. Okay. So next time you feel this energy come in, all right, because I feel this is a diversion. Do you understand? The head, the heart, oh, you know, it's to enter into that kind of glamour energy, you know, the Neptunian energy. Okay, so you feel this energy come in. You feel it first in the upper, it sounds like first in your heart. So this person knows that you have a vulnerability to them when it comes to your heart. This is somebody that you've felt that emotional love, openness to at a point in your life. Obviously, that's what I gather. Otherwise, it wouldn't be coming in first in the heart, in the chest area, right? So as soon as you feel that, don't go there, okay? Don't go there. Don't focus on the heart first. Go down to your root because you know that that's what's trying to happen, right? It's trying to shake your root, all right? So just divert your attention because that's the ruse, okay? So that's the distraction, all right? So take your focus down to your root and tap in there. Start breathing down into your root, okay? And start building an image around what you feel there, all right? And as soon as you build the image around what you're feeling there and you capture the feeling there, surround it, okay? Sequester it. Sequester it with some kind of protective shielding. I like to really, in this regard, I like to work with Archangel Uriel, okay? So you can call Archangel Uriel in and ask Archangel Uriel to just kind of like put an armoring around the energy that can allow you to use this energy. All right, get this, I love this part. Use this energy as mana to feed your elevation. So what you're going to do is you're going to like just envision it surrounded with like silver or gold. Silver is really good if you're dealing with any kind of parasitic, like vampiric type energy, right? If it feels like draining, you want to work with that, all right? If it feels more enticing, like, ooh, you know, it's like energizing, it's seductive, it like draws you in, you really want to engage with it, I would use gold, okay? And you just surround it, all right? Now what you do is you start to raise it up, your chakra centers. So they're going to continue to send this energy your way. Now they're feeding you, but what they don't realize they're doing is they're actually letting you get gassed up. So you just start breathing and you raise that energy, raise it up now to, you know, your sacral chakra and just breathe in that energy. Yes, thank you. Thank you for filling my tank, okay? And then raise it up. This is the key. You don't want to leave it down in the root, okay? You don't want to leave it down in the sexual centers because that's how it taps into you. That's how it cords into you. But if you work with your breath and you rise it up through your chakra system, you can transmute the energy and it actually benefits you, okay? So raise it up to your sacral chakra, all right? And then pull it up next to solar plexus, to Manipura. Pull it up into the heart. Oh, now we got that other energy there. We know that's one of the portal points, right? They go through the heart. Okay, so now gather up the energy there and combine it with this energy, right? Thank you. I'll have a second course, please. Okay. And put another layer of shielding around that. All right. Now raise it up through your upper channels. Raise it up through the throat. Okay. Up through Vishuddha. Raise it up through Ajna, the third eye. All right. And the last place you felt it was your crown. Take it all the way up to the crown and use your breath to do this. Okay. Use the breath to raise it up. Take in the energy, gather it. Okay, it's funny because it's like the energy taps into you to energy harvest, and you're like, thank you, thank you. I'll take that. I'll take that. I can use that to my advantage. Thank you. I've been feeling tired because you've been trying to tap into me, but now I'm going to use it for fuel instead. So I appreciate it. Thank you for filling my tank. Okay. So then you can like raise it and out, you know. in relationship, in healthy relationships where you're united with somebody on a sensual level, on a sexual level, you two can work with each other on this way, you know, in this way, on this level. And it's beautiful. You know, that's when sexuality, you know, becomes spiritual. You know, it's a whole different level of experience. That's like soul union stuff, right? But you can use this energy for self-transformation, okay? And then you gather it up all the way to the crown. Now, you know that the crown for you, Angela, is another entry point. So now see, get in touch with that energy there while you continue to build. And you see what's happened now. You gathered up all this energy they're feeding in, where they're tapped in. You gathered it all in. You've risen it all the way up now to the main entry point here at the crown. Gather in one big sphere, and using your breath, release it. Release it for transmutation. You can even say a prayer. You can say a prayer to any deity you work with. You can say a prayer. Yes, it's Tantra. It's Tantra. But you don't need a partner to practice Tantra. You don't. You can do it yourself. And that's what Westerners don't understand. You know, they're all hooked on this like weird, you know, sex aspect of Tantra that they've been taught. That's good. It's good that you've been praying with it. Start marrying your prana with it. Start marrying your prana with it and raise it up and release it. And what's going to happen for you, Angela, love this. This is so juicy. Thank you for bringing this in, because this is so juicy. This is so spicy, and it's right in alignment with that whole Lilith trine Chiron energy, right? It's like taking that shadowy material and it's like elevating it, transmuting it, taking it from the shadow into the light for expansion. I love it. Okay. So work with this. You can do it. And what you're going to have happen is you've released this energy. It's not plugged into you anymore. And you also, by proxy, you've just elevated that person's energy too. It's transformational for them as well. And then, you know, clear your body out. Make sure you got your good shielding going on. All right. You'll notice how this shifts things, right? You'll notice how this shifts the energy. Well, look, it got brought in, okay? So as you do this, Angela, what's going to start happening is you're calling back your own sexual power. And that is your creativity. That is your creativity. It's in your creative center. Sacral chakra, that chakra center within us that births all new beginnings in our lives, the womb space, that true, I feel like Manipura is often considered the power center, but I really feel like it, you know, the womb space is the power center. That Svadhisthana, you know, is the power center in my mind, because that's your creative energy. That's your sexual energy, right? And it's like, let's not vilify that anymore. And I think it's kind of interesting because it's a very feminine kind of energy too, right? Whether you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. It's the same energy working through you. Okay, so we're talking in terms of energetics here, not gender. All right. Let's not get stuck in these, you know, silly division points that just, you know, are pointless points of conversation. Even men, you can work with this energy. This is where that feminine power is in your body. It's in the womb space. It's right at your navel, man. It's in Svadhisthana, okay? And it's interesting to me because Manipura is like associated with the sun. That's very masculine, you know? And so we tend to only focus on the masculine aspect of power, especially in the Western world. But there's such creative force and power within the feminine too. Right. And it's really about coming into union with that. And it's interesting because in all cultures across the world, and recently we've been looking at Gaelic tradition with the Tuatha De Danann, Danu, you know, the birther of gods, you know, Danu, this piece came in, you know, earlier on another download, you know, Danu was the creatrix, the primordial goddess, and Danu is found in every cultural tradition all across the globe, even within Christianity. You know, it's like the Shekinah energy, okay? And the mythos behind it is that, you know, she got bored after creating so much. She got bored of just not having anything to relate to. And so she wanted a reflection. She wanted something to reflect upon. And so she pulled Dionysus out of her. She pulled the God out of her so she could have a mere reflection. But she realized in doing that, she experienced a certain suffering, a certain pain, because then there was a separateness. There wasn't the union. And what we're really going through right now, we're taking this way out there, okay? I'm talking interdimensionally today. It's just where it wants to go. And I think you all will vibe on that. The people who are tuning in here will vibe on that. What we're really being asked to do is to go back to that primordial source where it's like the joining together, the union of the two. The alpha, the omega, you know, that Aries 0 point, you know, that's what it's about. It's the merging of the Venus, the Mars energy. It's the unification. It's the conjuncto. It's the sacred marriage. It happens in the self first. And then you find it in another. You know, then you can really meet in that place where you look into each other's eyes and you see each other in total realness. It's a beautiful journey. I love it. You're right in tune. You're right in tune. Okay, so what's going to happen is you're going to reclaim your sexual energy. You're going to reclaim your feminine power, you know, as creatrix. All right. And you'll probably notice you'll have a lot more Kundalini activation. You'll start running your own energy. And that's really the transformational inner fire. It's really a beautiful thing. Woo, that was a nice little diversionary rabbit hole. Let me see. I want to make sure I didn't miss any other comments that came in here. I just want to make sure I'm not leaving anybody out of the conversation that has something they want to contribute. Okay, I've seen all the ones that came in. All right. Let's go ahead. Let's actually do a shuffle. What do you want? What do you want the collective to know, Spirit? What does the collective need to know at this time? In order to move through these energies as we head up to the blue super moon in Pisces on the 31st. I will have all of those reads done on the blue super moon, once in a blue super moon series reads. I will have all of those done before we hit that super moon. So you'll all have what you need to kind of like navigate that lunar cycle that gets kicked off then. All right. Just prepare for an action, you know, a course of action to be made very clear to you, like what you need to do, what your next step should be. I feel like that's really what's coming in. Yes, there is some work to do around the past. We see that. We've got strength showing up here on the scene. All right. There is some kind of, you know, truth that needs to be seen. It does require that there's strength in order to move forward. All right. This truth will set you free, but it is a bit like entering the belly of the beast. I really got that. All right. Again, this terrain is tender. All right. And whoever you're dealing with may have been somebody that was really combative in the past, or you have a lot of heavy issues with in the past. But there's this piece here, you know, the Empress, and she's been really like factoring into this storyline here, and it makes sense. We got Libra on this in the South Node, and we also closed out the cycle where Taurus was in the North Node. All right, so the Empress is front and center on this journey. It's about really integrating the feminine and empowering the feminine, just like Lilith. Okay, so she can rise up and meet Aries in that North Node as the Emperor. That's what the journey is about. Okay, so this piece right here, this is about setting yourself free. And in order for you to be able to set yourself free, there's something from your past that's coming back around that maybe you were too scared to look at, too afraid to deal with. And now it's really time for you to take off the blinders and look at things as they are and realize you've been holding yourself in place because you've been bound up by your own process in this situation. You've been bound up by your own fear and resistance to actually like encountering this thing and step back into your power, knowing that you can enter these vulnerable spaces. You can look at these things and you can transmute this energy and you can use it for growth. I mean, it takes some BS, man, to make the flowers grow. It does. So this piece is really important here, you know, this transformational work. Now, do understand if you're dealing with difficult people who maybe are a little argumentative, maybe they're a little biting with their words, again, compassion, okay? Because this person here, again, it's come in many times before on this channel. I got Aesop's Fables 5. It's all about the thorn in the lion's paw, okay? The imagery, you know, got to grasp the thorns, right? You got to grasp the thorns to get the sweetness of the bloom, okay? So this person wants the sweetness of the bloom. They do. They want the sweetness of the bloom. And they're grasping the thorns and they're having a hard time like releasing the pain, right? So this is about, don't be combative with this person. You see, the Empress is gentle. She's not forcing anything. She's just like, it's okay to speak it. It's okay to release the places inside of you where you feel frustrated or where you feel angry or where you feel like you never got to say what you needed to say. It's okay. We can be brave in this together. They're in partnership with each other through this process. There's trust implied upon the wounded individual's part as well. Do you see this? They're actually allowing the Empress to put her hands in their mouth. Okay? So this is about deep, deep, deep trust in a situation where there has been tremendous vulnerability, pain, wounding, trauma in some cases. For some of you, this is just a process of you really diving into the past within yourself, acknowledging these parts of you, recognizing how they've superimposed upon you a veil of an illusion. And by you having the courage to actually look at it, you finally get to shed it. And in shedding it, you realize, I'm not that. I'm not my trauma. I'm not my pain. And I've been identified with that for too long now. What am I? It's only then you're really going to see yourself with a clear reflection. And that reflection will be what you see when you look into your own eyes. So it's very interesting because I feel like this can be very helpful right now, this mirror work. Remember, the goddess wanted a mirror for herself. So she pulled Dionysus out of her. What if instead you recognize that in looking at this individual, maybe you're dealing with masculine, right? At looking at this individual, it's like looking at yourself. There's something that is being reflected back to you here. Can you witness it with compassion, right? That's the transformation point. Can you witness it with compassion? It benefits you both. It benefits you both, right? And if you have the courage to go on this journey, all right, anything you're entering into on this level, if you have the courage to go on this journey, this promises, strength promises you are strong enough to overcome this. It guarantees something comes out of this that is worth it. It's worth the investment. Look at the beautiful balance it brings in with the infinity symbol there, okay? It's having a lot of courage to set yourself free from illusion. And then you rise. Then you rise as Inanna, Queen of the Heavens. What do we got here? Look at that. Oh, I'm no longer burdened. I no longer have to stay in the South Node action, carrying all this karmic load. I no longer have to invest in this, in carrying what's been burdening me. I can drop it. That's not the seed I want to plant. That's not the seed I want to plant. I can end this cycle. I can face the pain. Yeah, it's rock bottom, man. But the thing is, at rock bottom, there's only one way to go, and that's up. And absolutely without judgment, you know? Absolutely without judgment, right? You're moving away from this energy. Please pay attention as you guide your younger self through this process of healing and integration as you're on this death barge, okay? Because that's what that is. It's a death barge. It is transporting the pain to be released to the past, to give up the ghost. Please don't take the pain forward with you. All right, this is closing out the pain. Completion, successful completion. The way opens forward. Fixed sign energy very strongly in the mix. Fixed sign energy is really doing this work heavy right now. Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, Ophiuchus has come in recently for me. Ophiuchus is really like the married energies of Sagittarius and Scorpio, okay? So if you're a Sagittarian born between November 30th and December 18th, you're probably really deep in this process. I feel, though, with Ophiuchus, you're really at the stage where you're there. You're already like, nom, 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 nom. You're like the Ouroboros, okay? You're already like, let's just chew through this shit. That's what I got. You're like, I don't want to be shackled anymore. I don't want to. I'm chewing through this, man. I'm setting myself free, all right? Yeah, you're balancing out some serious karma there, okay? It's beautiful. You're balancing out some karma. Big time, all right? Beautiful energy. Top of the deck here. What do we got? Woo, that's a firm yes. Firm yes here, right? Hierophant always shows up as a firm yes. Ooh, yes, you are. Ophiuchus. Yes, you are. King of Wands. Beautiful energy. Really owning your fire. Burning through some stuff, man. Big time. Congratulations, man. That's beautiful, right? Scorpio energy with this high priestess energy here. Piscean energy. Cancerian energy, all right? There's a lot of balancing going on with the water signs right now. A lot of balancing going on with the water signs right now. You're about to do this deep dive. That's what I got very strongly. December 10th. All right. Yeah, you're on task, man. You're doing great. You're doing great. You're doing the work. You're fully backed by spirit, right? Your transformation is well underway. You're stepping into your place of power. I think you're about to take a pretty swift, strong action moving forward. Ophiuchus is looking really good, real sharp, okay? Water sign energy, you're really in this place. You're balancing out shadow and light right now. All right, so as I bring in these signs also, just because it's not one of your big three doesn't mean the information doesn't apply to you, okay? This is a collective read. So please look at your chart. Where do you have these signs in your chart? It shows you where you might need some transformation work to focus on, okay? So with this high priestess energy, you're balancing shadow and light, all right? You're still doing some deep dive work around here. You need some knowledge. Look at the pomegranate seeds. I love how she came in earlier. There's that Lilith energy. Lilith energy. There's something that really comes through for you by the new moon in Virgo, okay? On September 14th around this. Get ready to rise. Get ready to rise. Get ready to rise up out of that time. Dancing with the devil. That's what I got, okay? So look where you got that in your chart. Very significant. You could have Virgo rising. You could have Capricorn rising. You could have Taurus rising, right? Any of those placements. You could also have a lot of action going on in any of those houses. You may still have some real like illusions to shed. There may be something you really need to karmically balance out, and it has something to do with your shadow, right? So have a look at that. Yeah, this is the work, okay? With the 8 of Pentacles here. This is the work. This is the karma. Karma is the work. I really hope people, if I can bring anything to the tarot community with my influence here on YouTube, I hope I can bring that in, an understanding of what karma is. Karma's not gonna get you. It doesn't work like that. That's not what karma is. Karma is not tit for tat. That's not what it is. It's your work. That's what karma is. It's your work. It's the lessons you came into this life with, the work that you have to do to evolve and grow on your path in this life. That's what karma is. So stop tuning into this karmic stuff, you know, because it's continuing to fuel this sense of division, you know, and it kind of creates this atmosphere of arrogance where it's like, oh, they're a karmic, but I'm a divine feminine. Come on. It's so like, bring it on, prep. It's like, God, like such, it's such like, you know, come on. This is not the way to like look at things, right? It's not the way to move through life. Like we're all here, and everybody's shit stinks. I'm sorry, you know, nobody's better than anybody else. We're all doing our work. We're just at different points on our paths. That's all it is, right? So this is about really creating room and understanding for that. Nobody's perfect. And if you were truly ascended, I love how people like to throw that around. I'm ascended. No, you haven't, because you're still here. You're still here. You're still in a physical body. And until you're not physically alive anymore on this earth, in this material realm, you have not ascended. And guess what? You're karmic too, you know? So can we get over this, all right? Can we get real? Can we really do the work, all right? Isn't that interesting? Because if you have to look at that as a reality, you don't get to play the blame game anymore. You don't get to divert your attention and go, oh, this person's karmic, and that's why this situation is like this. You know, save that drama for your mama, because we ain't even having it. Accountability is the order of the day. You can't control what anybody else does. Do people move foul? Yes, they do. But you know what? It's your responsibility to put down your boundary lines. And if you're dealing with drama and you're dealing with BS, it's because you're interacting with it. You're engaging with it. You're not doing your work, and you have to own that, man, at the end of the day. And nobody wants to look at that part, you know? Nobody wants to look at that part. I still hear, I've been here, and I know how you feel. Yes, yes, I love that. I think that's beautiful, you know? And we've all been there, right? Have we not? We've all been there, you know? We've all been there. So let's all, you know, realize we're all on the same team, like it or not. Like it or not, we're all on the same team. Because there's a beautiful opportunity here, you know, in the past that's not really being taken up. And that's what can happen when we transform the past, right? When we transform the past and our relation to it, then something really beautiful can start to grow and rise up out of that. All right. Really appreciate all the pieces you all are bringing in. Anything else, Spirit, with this deck before I leave it off? Any final words with this deck? And then I think I want to get maybe some little fun oracle cards, maybe some counsel from the angels. Maybe we'll bring that in to see what wants to come in. I see a lot of people, actually, I have to say, I've seen so many people stepping into their courage. I've seen so many people like really like owning their path. I've seen so many people doing the work. Like, let's start focusing more on that. Let's start really acknowledging the people that we see around us that are like doing the work. Let's highlight that. Like, let's encourage people. even if it is wobbly steps, you know, even if they are struggling, even if you're like, you notice your own BS, you know, like your own perceptions of it, like, well, I really wish they would have done this. Like, call yourself to the bat. Like, can you just be open and recognize what may seem like a little thing to you may be the biggest thing in the world to another person. It might have been really scary for them, you know, to make whatever their offer they're making or to take whatever step they're taking. So let's support people in the steps that they are ready to take. Let's not steal the opportunity for growth from them or from you, because it's also an opportunity for self-reflection. Anytime that we have judgments, it's an opportunity for self-reflection. All right. I'm going to do a cut of the deck energy here, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull out some different decks, because I just feel like, wow, look at this, casting off the veil of that shadow of illusion, hopping on that horse. I love it because the Sabian symbol that came in with this lunar cycle that we're currently moving through was the bareback rider. And look at it. Look at this baby, the birth of the new beginning, this happy child here, this happy new beginning that wants to come in. It's bareback on this horse. It like cast off the veils of illusion. It's heading toward that sun, all those beautiful sunflowers, you know. Each of those sunflowers has so many seeds of potential. This is like the field of dreams, cultivating the field of dreams, really beautiful energy. So please, let's focus on the light. And wherever somebody's like letting the light in, let's support them in that. So more light can pour in, because guess what? It benefits us all. Beautiful. I feel your support. I feel your presence. Just you being here is wonderful. So thank you so much. I appreciate your presence immensely. All right. Look at that. Wish fulfillment. Wish fulfillment. It's smoke and mirrors right now. It's really, this is what it is. It's like, you can stay in the hall of mirrors, right? But you'll just continue to be like, you know, wandering through ancient history. It's almost like you become like an apparition, you know, living in your past. It's not what's going down right now. Anybody who is trying to like fear monger and feed the fear is really diverting from the work at this time. And you should be aware of that. Anywhere where you're feeling like somebody is feeding the fear in a situation, you want to really create some good boundaries around that, because we're meant to focus on building the light that leads us forward. That is so essential right now. This is what leads us to wish fulfillment. It's coming in, man. You got the sun with the 9 of Cups. It's coming in. But you got to be able to see it yourself. You got to believe in the new beginnings. Look at this. This is where people are at. This is where the collective's at right now. The spirit's like, look, take this cup. Why are you resisting this? Why are you closed off to this? Why are you disappointed? You don't think it's good enough? You wanted to heal. You said you wanted to heal. I'm giving you this opportunity right now, and you're so closed off to it. It doesn't look the way I wanted it to look. We can't do that, man. You got to unblock your heart, man. You know, unblock the root too. You know, this closed off, constricted, you know. How can you ground any of that healing into your reality when you're so contained like that? You know, you need to open up to receive. Take this cup. It brings you the healing that you've been feeling so disappointed about. That's eluded you. It's all right there for you. But you have to be able to recognize it, man. And just because it doesn't look the way that you thought it would look, just because it arrives in a different form doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. All right? Let's pull out these angels. What do the angels have to say? Yeah, man. 3 of Pentacles. Okay. There's something to work with here. You may think it's chump change. You may think it's something small. It's not. Look at it. God hearing lamentations. I heard you. I heard you. You've been saying you want to heal. I heard you. I'm trying to give you an opportunity. Do you want it or not? Right? Mental force protects against sorrows and illnesses. Right? Mental force. So focus. You got to be focused on the light. You got to be focused on the end goal. The end goal is I grow. The end goal is I heal. And anybody coming forward to me saying, you know what? I'm here. I'm in this. I'm committed. I know it's messy. This is awkward. And I don't know how we're going to get to the other side of it. All I know is this means something to me. I'm invested in it. And I'm willing to get in this mess with you. And let's figure it out. And we'll ride it out together. And when we need to take breaks to process, we will. And we'll know that it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong. We can dive back into it when we feel ready. We can respect each other's spaces. We can learn how to maintain our autonomy as we move through this experience, even as we're working to come together. Okay. And this is beautiful. And it protects against losses. It protects against the illness. And it is an illness when you're stuck in the past. It's an illness, like nothing can grow from that place. You know, it's really just like such a beautiful energy and opportunity that is available right now. But I feel like there's some people that won't accept it because they're too much in this guarded space about, you know, me. Things need to be my way. They can miss out on something really beautiful. So don't make surface judgments. Collective, whatever you do, just be open to the experience and let it show you what it has to reveal to you. You won't be disappointed. You know, often people will ask me, you know, what to do when they feel like really confused in life, or they're trying to make up their mind between one thing or another. And I always tell people, what is the choice that offers growth? You know, it doesn't matter if it's hard or not, all right? Or if it means you have to face a fear or pain or not. What is the choice that offers growth? And in that case, you know, a lot of times the choice that offers growth is not the comfortable one. We don't grow within our comfort zones, right? But if it means enough to you that you're like, you know what, I'm willing to go through the discomfort, that really shows you where your true investment is, and it matters, right? So give yourself the chance to experience the beauty of that. Okay, it's significant. Anything else, angels? Anything else, angels? King of Swords. Air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Victory, grants victory and protection from lightning. Okay, so air sign energy, you're doing a good job, man. Looks like air and fire are doing pretty good right now. That's what I see. I've been feeling this energy come in for a while. I got a kind of interesting message about fire, though. I feel like a lot of people are kind of like judging fire, and they think that fire is being messy, but actually fire is being really brave. You know, you got to think about it. Fire is a very like illuminating energy. It also really requires the use of initiative, you know, and especially when we're looking at Aries North Node energy, that is about taking the initiative. Fire is about action. Okay, so it takes a lot of bravery to step into that. And especially when things are messy, all right? So fire signs have been doing really, really well, have been holding it down. Wherever you got fire in your chart, I feel like you're really like, you're transforming something here. Stay on track with that, okay? And air sign energy, like you've been very wise about exercising judgment. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, you've been wise about what doesn't serve, what needs to be cut off. You've been drawing certain lines. You may have been doing some boundary work. You may have also drawn a line under the past where you're like, I'm not carrying forward pain or heaviness from the past. You know, I'm not carrying forward with me anything that's going to hold back. I'm ready for growth. Sometimes to grow, you got to prune things, right? You can't get the rose unless you do some pruning. So I feel like you've really been doing this work, air sign energy. And I really have felt this for a bit coming in, the teaming up of air and fire, okay? So look at where you got air and fire in your chart and combine those energies, like fuse them together, because there's something there about bringing these two energies together. And again, it's that energy that comes in. right? We're arriving at that point very quickly here. And I really have started to think about it. And we talked about Frog Rock, right? The sword of truth. And that's what we've been arriving at. Like, what is my truth? But remember, Frog Rock, that first jewel of the Tuatha De Danann, it only has power once it's removed from its sheath. It has to be drawn, which means you're about to exercise your truth. All right. So when we're looking at the next jewel, which is coming up, coming to a head, this is what we're building up to right now. I'm sure you're feeling the building of this energy where it's like, okay, I recently arrived at my truth. I know what my core truth is. Now that I've arrived at my core truth, now it's time to really forge that with action. And I feel like what the action is its real statement of intention, whether it is to yourself, to another, to spirit, that I am committing to doing this work and following this path moving forward. You will shoot your shot toward that goal with the arrival of the supermoon in Pisces on the 31st. And that's what will continue to play out and build as we head up to that arrival point on September 29th with the final supermoon in this 4 supermoon series when we got that supermoon in Aries, okay? That is the alignment point. That's when you're really coming into alignment with this thing. That's when you know that what you want wants you to. There's proof of it. It shows up on the scene, all right? This is victory. And this is also protection from a tower. And why? There's protection from the tower in acknowledging the truth and committing to follow the path of truth. And why? Because the path of truth and the path of heart are one and the same. There's no differentiation. And yes, everything with intention. It all matters right now. Okay, cut of the deck on this. And then I'll let you all vote how we end this off. Okay, whoever's in the chat right now, you can vote. Do you want me to get our overarching theme with the Halloween oracle? Seeing as pretty soon here, we'll be moving into the fall energy. Or do you want me to pull out the super awesome future deck to get our overarching theme? I'll leave it to you. I'll go with whatever majority rules in the chat there, okay? Page of Cups, okay? So here it comes, all right? Here comes the offer, the Page of Cups, news. Somebody is going to communicate their truth. Look how it comes in. Somebody is going to communicate their truth with the Page of Swords here. And they got the cup. There's the cup. We know you got a cup coming your way. Somebody wants to enter into some kind of healing connection process with you. They're aligning with their truth, all right? It's probably going to come through communication. There's some kind of divine comfort being offered in this. It gives a consolation, all right? This is also for you. It is protected. It has protection from enemies. Nothing can stop this from moving forward but you. It's only in your refusal of the opportunity that you can hold this back. All it requires is your investment, okay? That's it. Just requires your investment. This also reminds me of, with that Pisces blue supermoon, we have the opportunity in that lunar cycle to gain the 3rd jewel of the Tuatha De Danann, which is the cauldron of Dagda, okay? And Dagda is the counterpart to Danu, all right? So this is within fairy tradition. I'm speaking in Gaelic tradition, okay? So this energy here, it's that time. Remember, I talked about it on another read. Those of you who've been dropping in for these, with the cauldron of Dagda, it very much reminds me of that great rite ritual where you take the athame and you put it in the chalice to symbolize the coming together of the two creative forces. The masculine is the avenue that allows creativity to work through, and the feminine represented as the chalice. Well, in this case, I'm really viewing this as like, using that spear of destiny, loose spear, to take action, to communicate the truth. It provides the fertility point, right? Where then you got the avenues provided for the creative force to work through. This is when we now enter into partnership with that thing, with that direction, with that path, with that person, okay? And it's a small beginning, okay? I don't know. I think a lot of people, they want bells and whistles. It has to be like this big fanfare. It has to be everything that they dreamed and envisioned it to be, but you've been in illusion. It's like you got to take off the rose-colored glasses and see things as they are, you know, and recognize the beauty in the broken. Think about that. The beauty in the broken, you know, it's like, yeah, you can drop a vase, you know, on the floor, shattered into a million pieces. Well, there's kintsugi, right? You take that alchemical gold, you know, you weld it back together and you have a new kind of beauty in the brokenness. You can take the broken pieces scattered upon the floor and you can put them together to create a mosaic, right? So there can be beauty in the brokenness. It can be put together in a whole new way, all right? So this is like moving forward, very beautiful. But you can take the opportunity. Or you can choose to, like, you know, Five of Pentacles it, you know, and stay out in the cold, lose the keys to the kingdom, lose the opportunity, you know. It's all your choice, okay? This says here, if you're smart, though, you'll have patience with this process. It will reveal secrets that you can't see now. And it also spreads knowledge and industry. So we know that growth comes from this, but we also know that fruition, abundance, flourishing comes from this, all right? So this is very positive energy here. So what did everybody decide? Do you want me to do the Halloween Oracle for our overarching theme before I sign off here? Or do you want me to use the Super Awesome Future deck? See if anybody said anything. I'm going to gather these cards together while you all weigh in, and if it doesn't matter, I'll just go for whatever. We'll see. And if you're like, I want it all, give me one of each, Broad, I can do that too, okay? You let me know what you want. You can have whatever you like, all right? Giving you an opportunity to place your order. Can you be decisive? What do you want? All right, I love it. Angela knows what she wants. She wants the Super Awesome Future deck. Angela wants the Super Awesome Future, man. I'm with you, girl. I want the same thing. I'm claiming it. I'm living it. I'm living it right now. Even amidst all the upheaval, the mess, you know, the shifting sands. I'm already there, man. One of each then. One of each then. Okay. Future. Oh, we got a lot of future. Woo, look at this. Broken mirror. Broken mirror, okay? Bad luck energy there. Broken mirror. Look at this. Look at, we were talking about the mirror. Look at the reflection. There's something that's been broken about the way you're viewing yourself, right? And I love this. I didn't mean to even look at this, but I had to pick up this deck to take it off the Super Awesome Future deck. Look what's on the bottom there, 10 of Hearts, okay? Maybe you've been thinking like, I'm just in a cycle. Bad luck, man. It's never going to get better for me. I'm just stuck here at the crossroads. Not true. You need to start seeing things differently. There's a lot of beauty and fulfillment coming in here. And there's a lot of love ready to pour into our lives too. But we can't receive love unless we're open to receive it. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the Halloween Oracle first, since you both want both. Let's do that, right? So we're going to get one of these cards here. Look at this. We got Winter, the sacredness of pausing, okay? So remember, as we move through this process, as we start doing this deeper work, as we're taking it to a deeper level, remember to pace yourself. There's no rush. Whatever is being forged now, it's long term. Whoever is uniting with you now, whoever is showing up with you now, this is soul family. This is somebody, these are people that are going to be with you for the long haul, okay? These are people that are ready to grow. They want to grow with you, all right? And they're open to be in partnership, to be creative, to enter this creative growth process, to see where it leads, to trust the process, all right? So understand that it's okay, that things don't rush ahead, that sometimes the best things grow over time. And, you know, things tend to work out best when we nurture them with love and care and tenderness and attention to detail. So with Saturn in the mix, what's really been coming forward so strongly too is just the real need to have a different foundation in place this time. Okay. All right. Also, as you're moving through the healing process, please remember to, you know, respect others' spaces in the process and how they have to move through it. Also expect there will be points when one or the other or both or all of you, if you're working within a group dynamic, will need a time out just to process and integrate it. Don't view it as like, well then, now it's cut off, you know? Just respect the ebb and flow of things. You know, stay tuned to the end goal, which is, you know, we all get through this together. I recently posted, it came in my Facebook memories, and I posted it here on the community board. You can scroll down and read it if you haven't. I posted a dream I had a while ago about, you know, all of us being on this shore, and that we have to swim to get to the other side. And in order to get to that other side, we can't get to the other side unless everybody gets to the other side. So we have to swim as one unit, as one pod of humanity. So you really have to look at whoever you're entering into these agreements with. It's like, no, we get there together, okay? Whatever it looks like, we get there together. We don't abandon each other. We got each other's backs. And this is how you really find the point through. I feel a lot of love being sent my way. So whoever is sending me just beautiful energy right now, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I feel it. I feel your supportive energy. It's really beautiful. Okay. So it was interesting because in that dream that I had, there was also otters that were weaving in and out of the pod as we were swimming. And the water, you know, you think of the ocean, you think of like cold water, right? And the water was so warm, you know, it was like bath water. It felt comforting. And in my dream, it's just this beautiful experience because we all knew like we're in this together, like we're not going to let each other down. And it was like looking at all these people. It's like some of these people I knew and some of these people I didn't know, but I still felt the connection. We were all swimming as one unit with these otters weaving in and out. And otter medicine is significant. And I feel like otter is really coming through right now. Otter is the medicine of medicine woman. And this gives us a big clue right now because the real medicine right now is coming in through mama. That's what we're meant to really connect with right now. A lot of you may even be connecting with healing around mother, all right? You might want to have a real look at your relationship with your mother. There's a piece there. Mother really does teach us about our ability to receive, okay? So you might be doing some deep integrative healing work around this. You're also doing work around your readiness and willingness to receive, to be open, to be vulnerable, okay? That's how we find the way through where we can create our new beginnings, all right? We also have Cancerian energy front and center. And we know that. I mean, the chariot is symbolized by Cancer. The chariot is what drives us forward. And, you know, without mama, nothing can happen, okay? Because mama first and new beginnings. So this is also about tapping into that essence of mama. What does that mean to you? Like just really nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself. A simple ritual you can work with at this time. This was a gift passed down to me by Francesca DeGrandis, who is one of my teachers in Fairy, on the third road of Fairy. Amazing, amazing woman and beautiful, beautiful teacher. Taught me so much wild wisdom. She has some really great books out there. You'll have to check them out. Look her up, Francesca DeGrandis. But she taught this beautiful, simple ritual called Mother's Milk. And this is something that you can do to kind of nurture yourself through this cycle. And you can even make yourself like a yummy golden milk, or you can make like a nice milky chai, or you could even do like milk with a little like just like a little splash of rose water in there, or you could do a little cardamom. Cardamom is considered the sweet masculine, all right? So that's kind of a beautiful way to marry those energies together, kind of sweeten, soften. But you make milk, okay? For this ritual, you make milk. I think it's nice if you warm it a little bit, you know, because that's more nurturing feeling rather than cold. And I think we need to warm up a little bit, bring some of that energy, some of that essence in. And what you do is you hold this milk, okay? And you think of three things, three qualities that you feel you're in need of. Like, where are you needing nurturing? Where are you needing to be filled? Where are you feeling depleted? Where are you feeling empty? And so you hold this milk in your hands and you can say your prayer however you wish to say it. It doesn't matter your tradition, okay? Any of you, it doesn't matter your tradition. And you can say your prayers, and then you can ask that these three qualities be imbued in this milk, right? So you're like charging up and consecrating this milk. And then you drink it in, okay? And as you drink it in, you imbibe those qualities. So you are inviting the mother to nurture these qualities. And it is a very simple, very gentle, very practical ritual, okay? Anybody can do it. And it works just such a beautiful magic that I think is very potent for this time. Bottom of the deck energy here, we have black cat. Isn't it funny? We normally think of black cat as bad luck, right? And we already had on the bottom of the deck for the super awesome future cards, right? We already have this black cat energy here. Isn't it funny how it shows up? Look at one has, you know, the smoke and mirrors, the illusion, right? Oh, this thing, this could be bad luck. Maybe when this opportunity, this person approaches you, maybe you associate it with some heaviness from your past. Maybe you associate it with, you know, a time when you went through challenges. But will you see what the black cat says here? Fortune meets opportunity. There's an opportunity here. Ooh, moon water. I like that. You know what? Gather up that moon water with that blue super moon in Pisces, once in a blue moon. If y'all ain't making blue moon water on the 31st, you're nuts. That is such a beneficial time to, you know, make some moon water. Maybe I'll put up like a short or something. Maybe I'll make a short for all of you on some different ideas on how you can make a once in a blue moon water. And you can use it for all kinds of things, for just like anointing, for consecrating, you know, any ritual items you work with, your crystals, you know, yourself. And use it to cleanse the third eye to see clearly. Use it to cleanse the heart. So maybe I'll bring something like that in for you all. I was going to do shorts because normally I've been doing shorts every weekend. I don't know. The energy I'm in today is just I'm not in that space. I'm in more of this kind of like, you know, deep dive, spiritual, you know, swimmy, ethereal. It's a beautiful energy. But I really feel like after the live today, I just want to get out. I want to be out in nature. I want to tap into the energies and play outside today. So I'm going to skip the Justifieds this week, okay? I'll bring them in next week. I just don't know. I'm just going to trust the flow today. The thing with working with energy and being a reader is you really have to trust the flow of how things come in. So nothing can ever be too static. Right. The witch, the earthly weaver of the worlds. Okay, so we know we're at an alchemical point. That's funny. The cauldron imagery, that reminds me of Caradwin. Okay, it reminds me of Caradwin. It also reminds me of Breed. Okay, and that cauldron of transformation, working with the fire energy. Okay, it also brings in that the spirit of Lu energy as well, because Lu was known as a skilled blacksmith. Okay, working with that fire element for transformation. Yes, we're at this alchemical point where we get to weave our new world. So what you're doing right now and your intentions right now are very significant. What you enter into right now is very significant. Please do mindfully. And also make sure that you're setting down like the proper foundation of like, this is my intention. This is how I'm willing to move forward. And where people aren't in alignment or people try to rush, you know, and that's not right for you, it's okay to draw a boundary line and release it lovingly. That's okay. You know, you don't have to feel bad about it. Keep on your path of growth. And hey, maybe they'll be meant to catch up with you later. Maybe they won't, you know. But that's the thing, you know, if we let an opportunity pass us by, the wheel of fortune keeps spinning, the road keeps winding, and who knows, you know. We are getting ready to hop a timeline though. So some may get left behind on the old timeline as, you know, others advance. So look at this. Midnight, the most magical hour of all, right? The Cinderella piece came in, so I love it. It's so perfect. You want to go to the ball? All right. What happened before Cinderella got to go to the ball? What did she need to do? She needed to do her chores. She needed to do the work, the karma, okay? So there's something that's getting really close to closing out here before we reach that point. And I really feel that's that Aries point, okay? With the September 29th final supermoon in Aries, when we arrive at liable, which is the stone of destiny, okay? It's when you step into the stone of destiny. Also, this did come, thank you for bringing that in about the witching hour, okay? Because this is very interesting to me, because it also made me think about recently, this has been coming in about midnight, you know? And I don't know about all of you, but those of you who tuned in for that read, there was something about you'll arrive at a certain truth sometime around midnight. I came in, I so had that moment. That so came in for me. It was like a crystallizing moment, made things very clear, all right? Midnight is a magical hour, all right? So it's an in-between place, right? It's a demarcation place between night and day, and yet it's still dark at midnight, right? So it's kind of dichotomous, because the promise of the light is still there, right? At midnight. It is an interesting betwixt and between place, okay? And we're really working with that kind of energy right now. So this is a magical hour, all right? So do notice, you know, what's going on around you at midnight. Pay attention to this, because this is definitely then coming in. Cut out of things don't serve me. Yes, I had something similar. I also had a realization, something really crystallized for me. I feel like the ancestors really coming forward at this time. And I feel all this energy. I'm sure a lot of you are feeling it. I started really picking it up last year. You know, normally it takes some time to really get to that point where it feels like the veil is really thin as we head towards Samhain or Halloween, okay? But it's been interesting to me. I feel like last year, that energy came in real early, and I feel like that energy is already here, like right now. I kind of feel like collectively, we're all doing a bit of Merc riding right now. You know, we're riding the hedge. We got 1 foot on each timeline, and we're kind of being asked to not straddle the timelines anymore. You got to choose one. Are you going to stay on the old timeline, or are you going to hop on the new? And this is, we're arriving at this point. You're arriving at the transfer point, and it is in the September 29th Aries supermoon, right? A very important piece of this, though, and action comes forward with the blue supermoon in Pisces on the 31st that really defines this experience for us. But we all know what happens at the most magical hour, and we all know what happens after Cinderella does her chores. She goes to the ball. She goes to the ball, but in the traditional fairy tale, we also have to remember there's karma to balance out too. Because the stepsisters get their eyes plucked out by crows, okay? So we got this energy happening in tandem. So there is kind of like a line is being drawn under what was done in the past. You're not in charge of deciding that, though. It's not for you to divvy out. It's not for you to dole out. It's your job to let go, release, stay open to your lot, your path, your work, your direction, your actions. Stay, you know, focused on where you're going, and let the wheel of karma balance that out. Let Mahakala balance that out, you know, and just call in the light for the people that are going through it, and send up your prayers that they have strength to rise to the challenge. Send up your prayers that they get the guidance that they need. Send up the prayers that they have the strength to overcome, to transform, to transmute. Because why would you ever want somebody to stay in a place of suffering. Because remember, if we're all one big pod of humanity, and if none of us get free into the other side until we all do, you better be hoping that people have what they need to heal, and you better support people in that and encourage that and hold space for that. So this is really calling all those people out there who like to refer to themselves as high priestesses, okay? A priestess makes all things sound. Does not cast judgment on other people. That is not what a priestess does. A priestess is just the channel for spirit to work through. She's gotten out of the way. She does what needs to be done to make all things sound, even when it's difficult for her. Okay, so this is about really holding court over that energy. If you want to walk that walk, you got to fully represent it. And that doesn't mean, you know, casting judgment on other people and calling some people divine and some people karmic. Like, it's not about that. As long as you're in that place, you're still locked in this place of dualism and you're divided and you're not really in your power. You're not really in your power. It's about transmutation here, and that we're all holding this energy. That is the way forward. All right, so let's say we're all doing this work. We're uncrossing ourselves, okay? We're uncrossing ourselves. We're starting to see ourselves differently. We're starting to look at our past differently. We're taking accountability. We're doing the work. We're investing where it matters. What's on the other side of us making this investment? Can you give us a little, just a little glimmer? Can you give us a little of that sugar, spirit? It reminds me of this song. It reminds me of this song. It's by this band, Christian Death. And the song is, Jesus, if you love me, where's the sugar? Okay, so sung by Gaetani Damone. It's a great song. I love that song, okay? And this is where it's about, what it's about right now. It's like, I want the sugar, okay? So can you give us a little insight, spirit, and where's the sugar? Like, where's the sweet spot coming in, just so people can know what this opportunity, what is really on the other side of this opportunity that comes in that people aren't able to see right now? Can you give us some guidance? Can you shine a light on that for us and the potential of our future so we can really tap into our courage, you know? What is that? What do we hope for? We all hope to get home, right? I hate to bring in all these fairy tale references. I feel like we're really moving into that territory. It feels very bardic to me, okay? The energy is very muse-like. It's very bardic. It's very rogue. It's very like, again, I'm going into that LARPing mode. I feel like we're really in this like creative play space right now. There's a way to play with the energy, okay? It doesn't have to be so heavy. And it was 2:22:11 on the clock when I said that big key there for coming into alignment, big building block for coming into alignment with others, for coming into alignment with our destiny, all right? It's really beautiful. I love this energy myself. It's big time, like questing energy. So play with it, man. Let the magic in, right? Let the magic in. Stop being so dull and heavy, man. We are the music makers, the magic makers, you know, of the world, the dreamers, all right? Let's tap into that energy a little bit more. Let's dream a new way forward instead of just constantly fixating on what's broken. Can we look at how the light pours through, all right? What does this super awesome future have in store for us, Spirit? Show us what this super awesome future has in store for us. What does this super awesome future have in store for us? All right, it's going to be a little wild. You're about to pull up your anchoring, okay? You're going to be a little adrift at sea. I think we're all about to like swim into that ocean of emotion together collectively. That soul soup, you know? It's time to get things cooking in Dogda's cauldron. Like, see if we can make something nourishing come out of all the trials and tribulations we've been through. Yeah, things feel a little chaotic right now. Okay, I got that. It's a little chaotic coming into this place of alignment. It is. All right? But with this energy here, you know, this squid energy, I'm thinking like colossal squid kind of energy. Look at the many hands. Many hands make light work, you know, so it's like working as a team. You don't have to be the anchor for everyone, all right? You also don't need to control anybody either. Like, let go of the things that You know, you don't need to control. As soon as you like release the anchor and you release whoever you're holding hostage here, okay? Whoever you're holding hostage here, you're free. And this energy is all about creativity, all right? The octopus medicine is very similar to squid medicine. It's the same thing. It's about working with the creative force. It's also goddess energy, okay? So again, there it comes. It's like really working with the feminine right now, right? And yes, it's messy, right? It takes chaos to birth a star. So do expect destabilization, right? Do expect, as you dive into this water, it's unknown territory. It's uncharted. You're an explorer. Be an adventurer. Be daring. Be bold. Be the protagonist in your story, not the antagonist, okay? This is releasing the anchoring, releasing control, going with the flow, entering the water, and just allowing yourself to be transformed, cleansed, purified of the old energy, and enter that creative space, that dynamic space where it's fluid. It's not formed yet, and that's okay, all right? So something really beautiful comes out of this. We find our direction as well, all right? And I was bringing in the piece about the Wizard of Oz is what was coming in for me. You know, we're all looking for that place called home. And when I'm talking about home, I'm talking about our home, our North Node, you know. We're all looking to rise up into that destiny through the magician energy, alchemizing all of the karma from the past, rising up into that, coming into that union point, manifesting our new way forward, claiming our destiny, all right? And in order to really do that, we have to do this work. We have to release control. We have to let go of what we're holding on to so we can enter that dynamic process and we can just be transformed by it, see where it carries us. And, you know, it's the same journey that Dorothy goes on, you know. Dorothy wanted to find home. Dorothy felt like she didn't have what she needed, you know. She had all these complaints. And so she got taken away in this chaos to teach her some lessons, some things that she couldn't see before. That home is really where the heart is, that home is always with you. And that's part of what you're going to realize in this process. You're coming home to yourself, okay? But it's funny because look what comes in here. We got abundance, and look at the yellow brick road. Okay, so this is really about those pieces too. Interesting. Is there four virtues to be gained in the Wizard of Oz, just like the 4 jewels of the Tuatha De Danann? Ted says yes. Wait a minute. The Scarecrow needed brains. The Tin Man needed heart. It is. Oh my gosh, I love it. The Lion needed courage. And Dorothy needed home. Look what comes in. This is abundance. This is abundance. And yes, it's financial flow, okay? It's financial flow, but it's not just financial flow. It's really arriving at that point of integration and stepping on the path of destiny. And again, it's the questing energy. This has been coming in so strongly. It's a questing energy. You got to gain certain virtues. You got to gain certain medicines to put in your medicine bag. You got to gain the jewels of the Tuatha De Danann to step ahead, right? Yes, that's right. Sometimes it isn't a place, but a person or people. Absolutely. Sometimes it's yourself. I mean, it always comes back to you at the end of the day, and that's what you really realize. You know, once you pull back the curtain on the wizard in the Emerald City, you realize like what's been running the show all along, right? The illusion. So sometimes it's like recognizing, oh, wait a minute, I'm the wizard. I'm the wizard. I get to create this reality. But I've been afraid to look at the ways that I've been trying to control things, you know? And so it's interesting. It's a real integrated point, you know, what we're experiencing right now. But this promises there's going to be a big harvest by moving away from the old energy and stepping onto the new. Look at this, like in the black. I see this as elevation. Look at that. elevation instead of the lightning bolt coming down, right, in the tower. Like if it was this way, it'd be like the tower striking down. The lightning bolt is rising up. It's that energy of transformation. It's the Kundalini life force. A lot of people are having that happen, but there's a harvest on the other side of this. There's spiritual wisdom that comes through, okay, with the 18 energy making 9. Also individually with those energies, there's you coming into a place of personal empowerment and initiative. And what comes out of it? A balance of power within yourself, standing in your power. And this brings about unity with the 8 on its side. That's that infinity symbol, the balancing point, okay? It's also abundance, abundance. And here's the thing. There's old cycles to close before this change can happen. So this is what's happening right now, right? This is what's going down. This is the action we're building up to right now. You are making an agreement, all right, with the past, something to let go, all right? And I feel like this is something you've gripped onto for a long time. It's got grudge energy. It's got resentment energy. For some of you, it's just being too invested in your pain, too invested in your victim story, too invested in the trauma instead of really transmuting the energy and getting to the other side of it. Which, you know, as long as I'm not speaking as somebody who's disconnected from it at all, because I have shitloads of trauma that I've had to work through in my own life. But there's something that comes out of the trauma. And as long as you continue to invest in the trauma, feed the trauma, focus on the trauma, tell yourself the story about the trauma, you continue to empower the oppressor. And you don't get to move beyond it. And ultimately, our traumas, there's gifts that can come out of them. And they're ways that they can become sources of inspiration and support to others in helping other people get free too, okay? So this is you kind of like releasing your grip on this. This is also, in some cases, you're making peace, making agreements with people that you know, like, time's up on this situation here. It's time for a change. It's time to let things go. It can be letting go of a way of life, or letting go of a job, or letting go of a connection that you feel like all the life's been squeezed out of it. It doesn't offer growth anymore. It's stagnancy if you stay here. So this is like making an agreement, okay, and shaking on it, okay? So this isn't like anything you're releasing, you're not releasing it in a way where there's drama or anything like this. It may feel like a little, you know, difficult. I'm glad it could support you. It doesn't need to be like that, okay? It doesn't need to be compromising. It's just kind of like you're approaching this with strength. Like, you know, like, I don't need to go down this road again. I don't need to go into anything that's compromising again. I don't need to learn the same lessons twice. I wish you well, you know, but we don't need to go about things like this. And it's time for me to change. I know my heart's calling me in this direction. A lot of you are closing things out that compromise you, okay? The things you've held on to for too long, all right? So this is also like, please release the grip. Because there's a new alliance being forged here. You got some soulmate, you got some life's purpose, you got some destiny, direction, heart's calling. There's a message coming in about this with the pigeon energy that makes things become very clear, and it leads you up into that destiny. So thank you so much to all of you who dropped in with me today. Thank you to all of you who will catch the replay. You're every bit, you know, part of this collective energy. I want to thank all of the subscribers. I want to thank all the OG people who've been here from the start. I want to thank all the new subscribers who are willing to like come into this space and, you know, see what it's all about. And thank you so much for all the support, all the interaction on the videos. Thank you for your comments, bringing your voice in. your likes, your subscribes, all that. It really helps build the channel. It helps get the messages out to more people. It helps me offer the support, the space to more people who are wanting to grow. So thank you so much, all of you. I really value you. I value your time. We're in it together. Let's make it to the other shore, right? Love you. Have a beautiful day.